going to grow the conservative movement. We are going to take our message to the people who are struggling paycheck to paycheck, to the students living under the burden of student loans, to the families struggling to raise their children with the right values. We will take our message to them, and we will bring them to our side.
Marco Rubio vowing to unite the Republican Party following his third-place finish in the Iowa GOP caucuses. But will Rubio's stronger-than-anticipated showing grant him the title of the establishment candidate? To talk about that and more, let's welcome in our panel, Skyping in from New York City, the noted columnist for the Fiscal Times, Liz Peek, and joining us from Newsmax, Washington, the president of Concerned Women for America, Penny Nance. Ladies, we appreciate your time. Liz, first to you. Is it time to attach the label establishment candidate, the establishment candidate, to Senator Marco Rubio?
Well, I think everyone has a different definition of establishment candidate, but what I saw last night was Rubio outperforming expectations, and that allows him to emerge from this pack of Kasich, Bush, Christie, etc., who are all kind of polling at around the same numbers, all of whom are moderate to conservative, somewhere on the sort of center-right axis Republicans. And yes, I think it's a big boost for Rubio's campaign. Everyone had a sense that he was surging at the end, but you never know until the votes are counted. And look, I think a lot of people in Iowa kind of came to realize what people around the country have decided, which is that Marco Rubio, in poll after poll, is shown the best candidate to beat Hillary Clinton. And if you really don't want 4 more years of Obama, maybe he's the right person to go for. And I think that was very influential.
Taking a step back, Penny, thinking back to last year when people thought Jeb Bush was going to come out and galvanize the establishment against some more conservative populists, do you think that Rubio, in essence, is the new Jeb, at least in terms of the estimation of members of the establishment?
Well, first, let's just take a moment and enjoy the fact that when we're talking about an establishment candidate, it's Marco Rubio. I mean, I was thinking this morning, boy, Ronald Reagan must be in heaven clicking his heels together. If we have got Marco Rubio as our establishment candidate, we've won, okay? The guy is actually very conservative, particularly on social issues, which is what Concerned Women for America mainly works on. That is very interesting. Yes, and I agree with everything Liz said. I mean, I think he got a huge boost going into New Hampshire. And let me also say, the only good thing at this point that I've been able to say about Donald Trump is that he did take out Jeb Bush. We are calling Marco Rubio the establishment candidate because Trump effectively took out Bush.
Well, part and parcel of the designation of establishment has to do with I guess we could call it an inconsistency. Marco Rubio campaigned in 2010 as being against amnesty. About 18 months thereafter, he joined with a gang of 8, passing that Senate bill, quote, comprehensive immigration reform, which many in the conservative movement regard as amnesty. Liz, can he explain that away and gain the nomination?
Well, he has tried to several times. And I think if you go back and really study the details of that bill, the path to legal status was unbelievably harrowing and expensive and elongated. It wasn't amnesty in the sense of what Obama has tried to do, for example, with a stroke of a pen, allowing 11 million people, or in his case, really 5 million people, to become legal overnight and conceivably citizens thereafter. It was a very prolonged and difficult thing to become a citizen. And now I think he has obviously learned his lesson that was not popular. And look, I think this is an important issue. I think that Rubio today is on the right side of this issue, definitely insisting on borders that are secure before anything else. So
fair enough. That's the poll-tested result, and that's smart politics. We must secure the border. We've heard that 20 years. Penny, politically speaking, we got about 45 seconds. You both tweeted and then issued a press release from Concerned Women of America saying, hey, for you also-rans, now's the time to consider getting out of the race. Do you expect to see any other withdrawals? We had Mike Huckabee leave the campaign last night. Anybody else going to go before New Hampshire next Tuesday?
I expect there's a lot of soul searching going on right now. You know, I don't know what's going on in the hearts of some of these candidates. They know who they are. But if you have no chance of winning New Hampshire, you haven't won Iowa, and you probably aren't going to win South Carolina, I think folks have to ask themselves, what are they doing? I think you can come out of the race, though, and be part of the conversation. And there are amazing candidates that are not going to win, but they're really important part of this national conversation, and I expect to see big things from them, probably cabinet positions, perhaps the vice president come out of this pack.
Well, ladies, we thank you. We'll have to leave it there. We thank you for invigorating conversation. Liz Peek in New York and Penny Nance in Washington. Back with more on Iowa after this.